It's been an interesting night already of some technical difficulties, and so if you're joining us now, you see we're on the second stream of two this evening, but another Regal Promotions event, another amazing dirt race on our hands. Drivers took to the bull ring that is I-55 just nights ago to run through preliminary action for this year's Slide Job Syndicate 305 Nationals, and we're ready to get after it for 40 laps this evening to settle it all. Welcome to Pit Stop TV in the virtual Peevely, Missouri. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV with Zach Murtis alongside, and it's a pleasure to join you for coverage of the Slide Job Syndicate 305 Nats this season. Tonight's coverage from I-55 is brought to you by all the partners you just saw across your screen. We're trying to hustle this up a little bit as warm-up ends and we get into the race session. In fact, I can go ahead and flip us out of this generic B-roll. And here we go, Zach. We are at the racetrack, and take a look at this track map. This place is tiny. That is a 2-scale track width of how wide this place is, but also small this place is. It is a tiny little bull ring, and you see the session switching over. 24 drivers ready to go at it this evening for just 40 laps of racing. A quick rundown. Of course, there's no points or anything for us to go through this evening, so we can kind of just get right to the meat and potatoes of this thing. A quick look at the Whiplash SimCam's race details. 40 laps, 13.2 miles. If you count this thing as a third mile, it's about, I think, 11 miles if you count it, or maybe 12 if you count it as a 0.27 mile. I think there's a couple of different ways you can measure this place, but 50-minute time limit. I doubt we'll get to it. Green flag laps only, and you see the rest there. 1 fast fix, 3 green white checkers. Mirrors are on. That's important in dirt racing, and the lineup, of course, was set a couple of nights ago. Speaking of that lineup, Zach, let's get right to it. On pole this evening to lead us to the green, how about Jeremy Christensen in car number 16? He will start this race alongside Mason White. That's your front row. A little farther back, Kevin Goodall and Xander Taylor in row 2, followed by Isaac Bowman, Joseph Truskowski in row 3, and Jordan Navarro and Josh Slater in row 4, followed finally by Steve Metcalf out of Ireland and Joseph Groom to complete your top 10.
Rolling outside the top 10, you've got Zachary Good in the 11th spot, and then Devin Eaker in the 12th position. That's going to be row number 6, and then right behind them in row 7, Jake Roy and Hayden Jones in the 13th and 14th position. 15th and 16th on the starting grid, Dalton Shearer and Armando Melgosia in the 16th spot. 17th and 18th, Jake Morris and Matt Taylor. 19th and 20th on the starting grid, you'll find Jason Hayes and Robert Puckett. And then 21st and 22nd will be Nathan Puckett and Ty Dickinson. And then rounding out your field is going to be Dean Reynolds and then Andrew Regal. But I think Regal is up in the race control booth tonight, letting these guys hang tough behind the pace truck as we're going to go 4 wide.
Yes, sir. A 4 wide salute here this evening. There are a bunch of groups involved in this event, in this series, and a big thank you to them all. You see a bunch of their logos there, left side of the screen. Slide Job Syndicate, the main presenting partner, though, of this evening's event, and you see all the others. I mean, just some that I recognize from all the other events we've done with Regal. I mean, Third Party Gaming, Apex Graphics, Victory Fuel, Admin Box, Bloodline Sim Sports, Support Squad, Dirt Series Promotions, Full Throttle Motorsports, Hinkle Plasma Cutters, TJ Visuals, we see them a lot, Right Rear Racing, 618 Engraving and Design, Shaggy TV, and Sweet Tea Gang, all supporting this event this evening and this 305 series in general. They'll give these guys a moment to warm the engines up and get back into double wide formation as we just took a look there at your 4 wide salute brought to you by Victory Fuel. And we're about to go racing here, and I think one more pace lap. Let these guys get set back up. A quick look at weather conditions. They don't matter too much in dirt racing, but 82 degrees in the air anyways, 73 on track, and we are set for a fun one. A quick look as well at the 305 sprint car. It's a dirt car, if you will, versus World of Outlaws for the 410s. It's the same as the 410s we usually cover with Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. The big difference, Zach, as opposed to about 900 horsepower, these cars have about 458. So a big difference there under the proverbial hood as the cars head down to the pits and get ready. 40 laps coming at you lightning quick. I-55 comes to life for the Slide Job Syndicate 305 Nats were green. These cars are a little bit easier technically to lap in, Zach, but I think that makes the racing sometimes harder versus 410s. Everybody is so much more even. Everybody feels like Superman, and at the front, Christensen has the lead early, a couple of laps in already.
Yeah, I'm still looking at the back a little bit as everyone's jumbling around trying to find their foot. You see Travers up on the top, running the berm, kind of pushing that gun further and further up towards the wall. That darker patch is going to get lighter as we roll through. But Todd Dickinson, he's moving up through the field. Watching him right now, he's moved up from 23rd to 18th.
And look at this overhead view from high above the speedway. You see everybody fanning out. It's mostly top or bottom line right now. They ran 30 minutes of practice, and they really ran this track in. Or I guess it was about 20 minutes of practice, rather. They really wore the track out, but that's going to give these guys basically two options each lap. And slow car on the bottom, that is Dean Reynolds, I think. Somebody, no, Robert Puckett, rather. That is Puckett in the 30 that has gone one lap down. And oh, problems on the back straightaway. I think Puckett's car being slow led to issues for Nathan Puckett. Now he is slow down the backstretch into turn 3. That car not turning whatsoever. Watch out, everybody coming up behind him. This might not end well.
Well, he's out of harm's way. He's down on the bottom. No front wing on that racing machine either, so he's trying to limit back the road. The caution is finally out.
Nathan Puckett does tow eventually to the pit lane. Looks like maybe Jason Haynes and some others might have gotten pieces of that as they're towards the back of the field as we go under caution for the first time this evening in this year's Regal Promotions 305 Nationals, brought to you this time around by Slide Job Syndicate. Let's get a quick look back at what just happened, if we can, between the Pucketts. Nathan Puckett in the 98 was kind of the end of all of this. There he is down the speedway into turn 1.
And right front is down.
Yeah, he can barely turn, and he ends up hitting the tire there on the inside of 1 and 2, and that stopped car is what brings out the caution.
He probably knocked the left front out when he hit the tire, and he just couldn't turn anymore at that point, and it was more than likely just overall better to stop the car.
There you see a handful of these guys in pit lane. Nathan Puckett, Robert Puckett as well. Both in the pits, not really able to do anything at this stage of things, but turn things back around to the number 16 of Christensen. He's going to lead us back to the green right now. Here we go, racing again at I-55. And caution out early. We are back, halted. I actually don't know why. I don't see anybody stopped. Could have been a quick spin and grab a gear and go, I guess, but I didn't see anybody.
Down the backstretch from what I'm hearing from race control.
This is back to the start for the car that was in last on the restart. I guess that's not a very good look, is it?
Oh, one on the inside, right there.
Yeah.
Back straightaway.
And that looks to have been, well, I'm not sure. iRacing is not playing very nicely right now.
Three wide here on the start.
115 down low? No.
Oh,
that was Puckett.
Pulling out
Yeah.
of the pit lane.
It was Robert Puckett trying to get out of the pits. You're right.
Just pulled out and stopped. Oh, okay. No, a little contact under the caution right there. I understand what's going on. So Puckett more than likely had his service completed, and it was said by race control that you cannot enter the racetrack under the green flag, only under the caution.
We've just gone back green just like that. It happens quick here, I-55. It is a tiny little racetrack, and Puckett in front of the leaders again, trying to get out of harm's way.
Caution back out.
This time, though, not for Puckett. Trouble in the back. This looks like Dalton Shearer. And one car has become a wingless car. That is Joseph Groom in the pit lane. I didn't know we had wingless 305s on iRacing.
Oh, we've got wingless micros, wingless sprints, wingless 410s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's only the 360 and 410 that has the wingless version, but here, Joseph Groom took it upon himself to create another. It was these two off of turn 2. Groom just stayed a little bit lower, and Shearer came up a little bit higher, and They met in the middle.
Oh,
and
wow.
Boy, oh boy, that was a vicious hit for those two.
That's going to be day done from the looks of it.
Yeah, you would think that, but we saw, who was it, Bucket, get back out there a couple of times. He simply will not be told that he can't race tonight. He just wants to get back in the race. I gotta respect it.
Well, they do have a fast repair. They do have one fast repair.
True. I respect it, though. Not wanting to be, you know, put out of this thing, wanting to stay in it. That deserves some respect. We're going to go single file restarts this time, as we've had those couple of cautions back to back to back. And the field back in the hands of Jeremy Christensen, Mason White, and everybody else at the front of the field. Green flag once again, 12 complete. Right down to the inside that time, Zach. Did you see that out of Christensen? He's been running high most of the race so far. Straight to the bottom. Here comes one on the outside. Stephen Metcalf rolling the top.
Yeah, Metcalf tried to take the lead on the last restart, but an untimely caution pretty much took him out of it. He had taken the lead into 3 on the bottom, but the caution came out before they could cross the start-finish line. And ripping that top line, Metcalf has finally pulled alongside of Christensen, trying to take that run, use it to his advantage. There they are again. Just giving room to Metcalf on the outside. They're 3 wide behind him, too.
For the race lead, Metcalf outside, Christensen down low. You see the 3 wide in the background as this is happening for the lead. Christensen, a great corner on entry there, but he's slow on exit out of 3 and 4 that time. We're nearing halfway, Zach, and Metcalf, I think, is just a couple of laps away from getting this lead.
That top line is certainly working itself in. I told you, Andrew, they're going to push that berm up further and further, side by side, down into 1 and 2. Metcalf with a big run off of the high side, and he will clear. But that's the great thing about dirt racing, and that it's not over once you clear. They are still going to keep fighting it out. Clear again on the front stretch, but that inside line prevailing through center, but exit on the top is so powerful right now.
Metcalf is really working that cushion this evening. Putting the right on it. He's got clear. Here he goes. The bottom side goes Metcalf. He clears and shuts the door on Christensen and pulls away. Battle now behind these guys. How about the 412 of Truskowski racing with Isaac Bowman in the 9? They are side by side. Truskowski on the outside gets a run. Bowman down low right through the slick as Christensen and White start to mix it up for second.
Talked about it a little bit further on backside. Dickinson, he started well deep in the field. He's up to the 9th position. He is making up spots, and if we can just get a few more quick yellows.
Oh, he's in trouble! Big crash on a turn 2. They're not done. A rollover again. That looks to be good. I think a couple of cars over that time and all of that down the back straightaway. That was a mess.
I take responsibility for that one. Commentator's curse.
Yeah, for real. Well, let's see this. So Dickinson in the 67 ends up in trouble here with the 3 car in just a moment. Will be the next time around, I do believe. You see the 10 behind them, and everybody just packed together 2, 3 wide. There's nowhere to go. And right there, so the 29 of Goodall got sideways, came down into the 67, and then here they come behind. Boom! Nowhere to go. Sheer to the wing, straight off, and you see Dickinson ended up on his lid there for a moment.
Yeah, gets flipped back over just at the last second there.
They'll take their fast repairs and get back out. Metcalf, the leader, has an opportunity now to control this restart. It looks like pace car lights have been extinguished, and we are going double file once again as we've gotten just past. Yeah, they're back on.
Yeah, lights just came back on the pace truck. I was listening on race control there.
I gotta say, Zach, you know, we don't cover Regal events too terribly often. It's 2 or 3 a year, it seems like. We chip in and try to help Andrew Regal out wherever we can, and these guys, this group, I mean, the sponsor list gets longer and longer every single time. I have never seen a league on iRacing with so many partners. They're doing something right, clearly, to have this many individuals and groups so invested in the series. That said, green flag, here we go once again. Mason White down low, trying to get second, maybe even first, as they race down the front straightaway. That's lap 23 complete. Caution in the air once again. Zach Good, along with Dalton Shearer, in trouble in turns 3 and 4.
looking back at timing and scoring as they cross the line. Looks like Christensen had white, so he'll keep that second spot, try to re-rack them, restack them. This is the look back at the replay. This is down into 1. He's a little loose. Oh, just ran right into the back of him right there and lost it. And pop.
Yeah, Shearer just got in the back of somebody else and really didn't have a chance to recover it. Trying to see who that car was. Looks like the 66, which per numbers be Jason Haynes. He barely tapped there, and the fuel bumper bar, I guess, just brought that car right around for Shearer, unfortunately. So a big misstep there for him, but this gives us an opportunity to have another restart with the race leaders at the front.
And unfortunately for Shearer in that 115, that was his second caution of the night. Per race control, he has been parked.
I'll have to watch the rest of this one from the pit lane. Meanwhile, we're going to turn things right back over to Steven Metcalf. The 707 going to lead us back to the green flag. Christensen was credited with second. There they go down the hill. Green flag again. I'm watching this 412, Zach. I think he's got something. Truskowski's starting to come to life as these laps wear on. He is right on the fuel tank now of Mason White. In the walls, Christensen.
Oh, in the wall!
That's an opportunity for the 412 down in turns 3 and 4. He tries to split the middle, can't do it. Christensen's still up top. White down low. Metcalf driving away. There's the slider out of White.
That holds up the 16 of Christensen. He has to jump out of it. Now everyone's about under a blanket. It's a 6-car race for second. All while Metcalf is driving away from these guys. He's with 1.2 seconds, and the caution is out once again off of turn 4. It's a 3-car pileup. A couple of cars locked together.
Groom and Good in this one, and that is a bad spot to be. You see everybody trying to split the parked number 11. I don't think he's going to be going very far at this point in time. He's trying to get that car turned around. Looks like he's got some steering. We wish him the best of luck. Let's go see what happened to put him in that predicament. Down on the inside this time around. It'll be the next lap that something happens here to the number 11 of Groom. And then down into turn 3 there, just tags the inside wall, up the racetrack, and really nowhere for those two to go at all.
It's unfortunate. You know, we're getting towards the end of this race, and these short sprint-style format races that you see at local short tracks on your Friday, Saturday night, they promote some great racing, but they also put the mentality in the mind of the drivers of, you don't have a lot of time, you got to go for it. So usually as we roll towards the end of these things, we see a lot more risky moves.
And Zach, we're nearly down to 10 to go. The 10 car on the outside. We're doubled back up for this restart. Let's see what we can do this time around from the fan cam. Green flag once again. I-55, 12 to go. In the wall is White.
The wall! They're into each other.
Truskowski got him hard.
Backing up.
3-4 wide through turns 3 and 4. They're still 3-4 wide off the corner. Truskowski in the middle of all this. He's starting to fall backwards. Big contact off the corner. It's a free-for-all.
10 laps to go when we click by the flag stand right here. 3 wide off of turn 4 for 5th on back. Really for 4th on back. Into the wall once again goes White. Christensen still sneaks on through. Great job!
3 through the middle! Wow! Mason White, car down low is stopped. That gives us another caution. Hayden Jones, I think the 3 car that was down there, but my goodness, the 10 through the middle right there at the end. Oh, he was pulling the power of Moses in that, splitting the sea. Let's see what happened, though, to Hayden Jones. You see the Metcalf Cinematography stickers on that car. Got up into Dean Reynolds. Dean got on the outside wall in 3. And then off of turn 4, that's the 67 of Dickinson getting into the 3 car, and they spin around. Really, it was a 3 paying the price, but that was just not pretty. And so, Zach, these laps are clicking off. We'll have 8 to go at the drop of the green. That's not very long in dirt racing at all. I mean, that's going to go by in a couple of instants for these guys. The leader...
For a driver, it's a lifetime.
Well, the leader is still Metcalf. Are we going green this time? I mean, they're way back in the pace car. Pace truck, I think, is in turn 1.
The pace truck was.
Yeah, there's the pace truck in turns 1 and 2. Meanwhile, the leaders are just getting there now. It's part of the game, I suppose. There's the pace truck down there. He's about to pull into pit lane. It's Metcalf, Christensen, White, Truskowski, and Bowman, your top 5. Let's see how this restart goes. Metcalf down the hill. We're back green. Slider into the corner, in the wall, goes the 10. Truskowski fed him the right rear. The wing is back on it. He keeps rolling, but that will not be appreciated by Mason White. Truskowski into third, more contact for the 10 car now.
He's got to have some definite damage on that race car, dropping like a rock, going further and further downward throughout the top 10. Truskowski has moved up into third behind Christensen, fighting to get up to him, and the caution is out, so that is going to be an easy reset for these guys at the front.
Kevin Goodall in trouble in that number 29. He's going to bring the car around now and rejoin the pacing field. Seems like a quick and easy spin for him, but obviously not at all what he would have wanted. He's been racing in the midfield pretty much all night so far. You see him behind Dickinson there on the outsides, the 15 of Taylor.
Hang on to it.
The 96 comes in and just taps him around. I think that was Devin Eaker. And it was really hardly even a spin. A half spin, I think is how they call that. And unfortunately, it's just enough to trigger the iRacing.com caution system and put us back under a stoppage here. There'll be 5 laps to go at the drop of this next green flag. I'm going to be honest, Zach, I think, and so what we'll do today, since the laps go so quickly, we'll do driver of the day after checkers, but I'm going to be honest, I don't know that anybody has anything for Metcalf with these restarts.
I don't think so. He has been firing off really, really well, doing his thing, trying to keep it up at the front. I mean, that's all you got to do is just keep in control.
5 to go. Green flag right there. Could Metcalf hang on? The track is super used up. Everybody trying to get all the way up top or all the way down low.
Saw some sparks out of Metcalf as he was clicking that right rear against the wall. Look at the side job. Truskowski goes up into the second spot. He takes it away, and Christensen falls down, way down into the 7th spot. He's down the bottom, and they're wrecking, spinning through turn 2. The caution is out again.
And they're still crashing back there. On his lid now is Christensen. He gets rolled back over, but that car is destroyed. That'll take a fast repair, and effectively, he is out of this race.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Tries to get to the pit lane and just misses the wall.
This is the tail end of it. He already had no front wing at this point. Gets hooked into the wall there by the 7, I think that was. Reynolds just bodies him. Oh my gosh.
More cars piling in, trying to check up, nowhere to go, and then they just get stuck together.
And it all starts with this right here to turn 3. Again, Truskowski just sends it right through another car. I mean, in that case, Christensen did try to pinch him, but still, I mean, car outside, that doesn't change. And oh my gosh, that was brutal. Reynolds into Christensen, then they get touched, I guess, stuck together there. Taylor trying to run down the racetrack, and
all the hard work that was done by the 412 to get up there into the 2nd spot is going to be undone. An EOL penalty for Truskowski.
I think that's fitting, honestly, for the 412. We're going back green. Truskowski has been sent to the rear, it looks like, and here we go. Green flag once again. Let's try to settle this. 3 laps to go. Can anybody do anything with Metcalf? They're 3 wide. To the inside comes Taylor into 7. Bowman in 2nd, 2 to go.
White is all the way down on the bottom, ripping that inside wall. They're 3,
Contact
4
for
wide.
2nd.
Yeah, he's moved himself up for 2nd. White is just ripping the inside and somehow got him up there. White flag in the air one more time around. Presented by Whiplash Sim Cams.
Up into the wall goes Bowman. But out of turn number 4, Steven Metcalf is going to win the 2026 Slide Job Syndicate 305 Nationals. What a show that was.
Ripped all the way to the bottom, going through 3 and 4. How about White in that 0-10 car, just pulling himself up to the front, using that bottom line.
Comeback of the evening for sure. That was impressive out of Mason White. We'll be talking about him and talking to him here in a few moments. And you know what?
I was going to say, how about... Oh.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, how about Ty Dickinson went to the back, or started in the back, went to the front, ended up wrecking, going to the back, ended up coming back and finished 7th. That was really impressive as well.
Let's take a look first at the unofficial race results after those 40 laps of racing. And then, Zach, that'll give us some context with which to nominate 4 drivers for the quick driver of the day vote. So winning this, of course, Steven Metcalf in commanding fashion there. He got the lead and never looked back. Mason White second. He's easily, I think, we can even nominate now while we're going through the results. I personally, if I can go first for once, I want to nominate those 2 at the top.
If those are your picks, I've already got my 2 locked in.
I'm going to take the 707 and the 010. So fans, don't go anywhere yet. We've still got a driver of the day vote for you to participate in. We're working on that now. Zach, the rest of the top 10, Jordan Navarro came out of nowhere. He would be a great option, I think, for driver of the day, just because he came literally out of nowhere. But boy, this was a wild one. Xander Taylor goes 4th. Back in 5th, you'll find Jake Roya. 6th goes to Jake Morris. Then Dickinson in 7th. Taylor in 8th, Hayden Jones and Dean Reynolds complete your top 10, and Dean Reynolds even came back out of nowhere as well there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of guys just coming from the back and making it work, and it helped that a lot of cars were a lot down by this point. Joseph Trukowski ends up in the 11th spot after that EOL penalty from the contact that resulted in the last caution. Jason Hayes ends up in the 12th spot with Devin Eaker right behind him in the 13th position. Isaac Bowman, you talked about it. He got into the wall on the last lap, ends up 1 lap down when it's all said and done, with Kevin Goodall right behind him in the 15th spot. Jeremy Christensen was fighting for the lead all race long. He even had the lead up to a point and ends up 3 laps down in the 16th position. So car 16 finishes 16th on the night. Josh Slater 6 laps down in the 17th position, with Nathan Puckett not in the 98, 18th on the night, 6 laps down as well. Joseph Groom ends up 14 laps down in that 11 car, with Zachary Good right behind him in the 20th spot. Only 3 cars after that, Andrew, 21st through 23rd, and that would be Dalton Shearer. We saw him have some incidents, ended up getting parked, with Robert Puckett and Armando Melgosa right behind him in the 22nd through 23rd spot. Andrew Regal was race control tonight. He never took the green flag, but he was still registered in. I've done that a few times, Andrew. Recently, too, actually.
Yeah, it's happened more than once. Who you got for your driver of the day picks, though?
Driver of the day picks, honestly, Ty Dickinson is one. I sung his praises all race long, so I have to stick with it. And then you talked about it, Jordan Navarro. I'll have to take him for finishing 3rd, coming from, where did he start from? He started 7th, picked up 4 spots on the day, so good result.
That vote is now live over on YouTube, the North American Racing League Driver of the Day vote. It's a part of every broadcast. At least we try to fit it into every broadcast we do here on the channel. So we do want to give that bragging rights award, realistically, out to whoever you guys pick. Those of you watching on YouTube, it's up to you to choose, as we'll go ahead and get ready to talk to our race winner this evening, Steven Metcalf, with a wild performance, trying to hold off everybody there at the end. The several cautions that were thrown your way, having to make you, ace every single restart. Was it ever close on any of those restarts, or was the last the closest?
Honestly, I don't think any of those restarts were close. I think I just kept changing them up to make the people behind me try to guess it, but I just kept changing it up to make them think I was just to change it up for them so they wouldn't know when I was going to start.
How about that for some confidence? I like it. So obviously this was a wild race, right? And you didn't start first. You had to come from 9th place. That definitely required some patience there in the early laps. And, we cover a series with 410s usually. They were here recently. So we kind of have a side-by-side comparison of 410s here versus the 305s. Obviously, these cars are technically easier to drive, a little bit slower. But I think the racing actually gets harder, especially coming through the pack like that.
I mean, I would say so. I don't know. I'm honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a 305 warrior, so. But I really like 410s here. I would rather run a 410 or a 360 here than a 305. Yes, 305s they race better because they're slower, and everything. Like I mean, you could stay side by side for a few laps, but I would rather race a 360 or 410 here for sure.
And how big of a factor was the track being worn out? I mean, you guys really put a dent in the dirt there in practice, really wore it in through those 20 minutes. How big of a factor was that for you guys?
I'm very comfortable when it comes to slick situations. I've ran leagues for a while. I've been on the sim for a while, so I'm pretty comfortable with slick situations. To my competition, I don't know. I don't know how they felt. I mean, there was some guys that I like. Mason was running the bottom. I did look in my mirror a couple times to see how close everybody was, and I did see Mason run on the bottom. So I did think the bottom was going to come in late race, but I mean, sadly it didn't. I was hoping it'd be a racier race than it was, but I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, it was a lot of fun. Congratulations, Steven. Good to talk to you after all of that. That was cool. Congrats.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Steven Metcalf, a commanding performance here this evening at I-55. He gets it over Mason White. And Zach, this is easily the comeback story of the evening. Here is Mason.
Yeah, Mason White just coming back to the front. He went as low as 7th on the grid, but ended up fighting back on the last restart. Mason, you had a shot to win it there, but it ultimately didn't go your way. Do you think maybe if there were a few more laps, you would have been able to put that car up at the front and be talking with us as the winner rather than the second place finisher?
I hope I would, but Metcalf is hard to beat, man. He's really fast anywhere you take him. So.
Absolutely, but in the same regard, you showed a lot of promise and a lot of speed tonight. Like we talked about, you got up as high as second. Do you think maybe if there was some more green flag racing, a little less cautions, maybe it could have fallen your way? Maybe, just maybe, you would have had that pace to be up there at the front.
Maybe, man. Metcalf's hard to beat. I was getting up there, that bottom was rolling in, but like I said, Metcalf's hard to beat.
Absolutely, we can see just how true that is. Firing off on the restarts, he just pulled away from everyone. And then final question here before we let you go. Do you think, had you been in the race lead, was there anything that you would have done differently on those restarts to control it more in your favor, or anything you could have done on the restarts to stay with that leader a little bit better?
I probably could have ran the bottom more. I was up there in the top getting in the wall. If I stayed on the bottom like I did those last couple of restarts, I probably had a little bit better chance of it.
Definitely a sound thought when it comes to how the race went tonight. Congratulations on your second place finish, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again sometime soon in another Regal event sometime down the road.
Yes, sir.
Mason White, second place on the night, Andrew, and honestly, he had the pace to get it done, just not enough time to do it.
Yeah, not enough time to fight back after being set back a couple of times throughout this race. And another driver that definitely caught my attention is Jordan Navarro, who goes third place this evening. And Jordan, just felt like you kind of popped up there out of nowhere. You know, the night seems like you were always in the top 10, lowest of 8th, despite starting in 7th. So you're always in the mix in some regard. How crazy was it there in the middle of that top 10 pack? I mean, 3-4 wide most of the race.
Well, first, I got to start by saying, woo! That was very unexpected. I mean, at this point, I was hoping for just the top 10, just trying to get the car back in one piece and trying to stay out of everybody's way. At one point, we went 3 wide, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not ballsy enough right now midway through this race to try to do that. So I'd back out and let them battle it up. And next thing you know, slowly started moving up. And then out of nowhere, I didn't even know I was coming to the line for third until we were coming out of 4. And then instinct kicked in to floor it, and that was almost a very bad idea because I got a little sideways and almost lost it. So a little surprised, though.
Yeah, you know, these 305s have about, a little over half the horsepower of a 410, and I think it's a little over half the torque number as well. So technically, it is a dumbed down sprint car, at least versus the 410, but there's still a good bit of power in these cars. They race really well. How tricky was it, especially with the track completely slicked off top to bottom?
Oh God, I tried the top groove a couple of times and it just got too bumpy up there. I couldn't trust myself not touching that wall, and I like to make sweet love do it, so I just decided, you know what, we're going to try to run down low, try to save some tire if we can, even though it's pretty much slick the entire way down. There was a small little patch that I can kind of get my tires into and try to help them out, a little bit of moisture, but it kind of unsettled the car when I got down there, so it was almost just kind of running middle low and just trying to hold on to it as best as I could.
And I see a couple of the logos on your car match some of the logos on the sponsor graphic that we have this evening. How important is it to you to get it done for those guys? I see Apex on there, 618, a couple of others. I mean, how important is it to do well for them?
Oh, it's big. I mean, I'm so proud to be with these guys. Without them, I wouldn't have the championship I have with RPES. We are such a great group of guys. I mean, we got Jake that does the Apex graphics. We love every single time he puts one for us. I used to go to random creators, and now I only come to him. Not only is he super cheap, but he gets great graphics. And then Matt over at 618 Engraving and Design. And I mean, all of us together, we're just one collective group. We're a brotherhood. We like to kind of help each other out. Hey, what wing setting are you at right now? Where are you running on track? Kind of giving each other ideas to try to all get each other up towards the front. And then, of course, I gotta thank the Macho Man Ty, who pretty much is the head honcho of the entire operation. He pretty much just let me come on board and drive for him. So I'm doing the best I can. So it makes me happy to be able to walk away with the third today.
You're doing a great job of it here this evening. A solid result. Congratulations, and hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
Thank you. Sounds great.
And there you see all the partners on the left side of your screen of this event. I mean, Zach, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. There are so many. Just so many. I don't think I've ever seen a league with so many partners every single time they unload and go to the racetrack, virtually anyways. The list, it seems, like I said, gets larger and larger and larger every single time. I think when we first covered a race for these guys, I think it was May of 2024, you raced it and won it. And it was Xfinity Cars at the time, I guess O'Reilly Cars now, at Charlotte. And Victory Fuel was a big one, and there were a couple of others. And it felt like a half dozen, I think, groups involved at that time. And I mean, it's exploded. This is as many logos as we could fit on, and there's still a couple of RP, I guess, properties, if you will, RP Gaming and such, involved here. So we got all that we could in the graphic, and there's still a couple of house, I guess, groups that you could throw in there as well. I mean, this series, it doesn't matter what they're running. They have an F4 series, Formula 4. I mean, they have all the dirt races they do, some stock car racing. They do so much on the sim. They have such a great community. And they have so many partners. It is really cool just to be a part of this every once in a while when we get the opportunity to sit in on a Regal race and enjoy the action they provide. And I'm doing all of this, Zach, to kind of stall, by the way, to get a few more votes in our North American Racing League Driver of the Day vote. And I think we've got just enough now. A bunch have followed in right here at the end. So we can go ahead. Well, a few more are coming in. I guess we'll pause. You know what we can do? Take a look at what's upcoming for us here at Pit Stop TV. We've got a bunch of broadcasts coming up through the summer, and this is just the next slate of them. So next week we have there is a to be determined show, I guess, on Friday of next week. Keep an eye out for that on the channel, but what we can confirm right now is Monday and Wednesday we're in action with first the NORA Retro Cup Series 2003 NASCAR Cup Cars at Michigan International Speedway. That'll be the Legacy Michigan International Speedway on Monday night, and then 410 Sprint Cars for the Sprint Car Championship Series. Obviously, any of you watching that just raced or often race in these races with Regal, we don't want to pull you away from anything happening that might be going on in Regal next week, but I don't know all the races that are happening. So if you are free, this could be something cool for you to go run. 410 Sprint Cars, Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series at Knoxville Raceway. Some great payouts, some really fast drivers over there, and it's just always fun to see who can make the 22-car show each Wednesday evening. And they've been away for a few weeks, so it'll be interesting as well to see who has momentum going into that one next week, Zach. And then you see Sonoma checking in as well for the following week of NORA. But I mean, of these, and of course, we've got the broadcast schedule over in the Discord server, Zach, what are you most looking forward to, even if you might be at Charlotte for a handful of these?
I'm looking forward to that Sonoma race for the NORA Retro Cup Series. Those Gen 4 cars on that Sonoma road course, oh my lord, Andrew, it is a very perfect combo. So, funny backstory, About a few weeks to a month after I had my injury at Charlotte Motor Speedway last year, I was invited to do a league race at that racetrack in that race car with the Robbie Gordon setup that had gotten leaked out onto the iRacing.com sim. And when I tell you that was an incredibly difficult race, it was an incredibly difficult race. I think I still finished somewhere around the top 5, but the amount of challenge that track provides in that race car is immense. It's incredibly fun, and I think I wanted to die after that because my back was not having it.
I will say, I think these guys will be on the fixed iRacing setup, but it's a lot of fun to drive, honestly. It's very pointy. It gets around the corners nicely. So there's a lot going on here at Pit Stop TV. As always, you can check it out on all of our social media links there at the bottom of your screen. But without further ado, we can go ahead and end the poll over on YouTube. And this is pretty cool. I'm glad I nominated him. Or I guess, did you nominate him? I mentioned him, but you nominated him, actually. Third place finisher. Jordan Navarro is today's driver of the day. How about that? We just spoke with him. He's got to be happy with that. He sounded like a guy that was just happy to finish, let alone finish third. It's very cool to see a guy like that, just a nice guy, get this kind of award. And it doesn't really mean a whole lot usually. I mean, some leagues give an award for it, but it's really just bragging rights at the end of the day. That's pretty cool.
That it is. It's great to see.
And we've got some fans in the YouTube chat, it looks like. I see Dickinson out there. I even see Rudy Valencia rooting on, the driver of the 96. So it's good to see as well some of his fans in the YouTube chat this evening rooting him on, and certainly it was worth it. Third place, it was right there. That pass off of turn 4, you see it in the replay. That is how he got that position over Xander Taylor at the line. So very, very impressive run, I'd say, out of Navarro and really the entire field. You know, it was a solid race this evening. It's certainly a little bit hectic, a little bit crazy, but what is a dirt race without a little bit of craziness throughout?
There's always craziness on the racetrack, Andrew, regardless of if you're here for a dirt race, a stock car race on an asphalt oval, a road race, a rallycross race. It doesn't matter what it is. There is always some form of chaos.
Well, a big thank you to everybody for having us here this evening. Regal Promotions, the 305 Sprint Series, Slide Job Syndicate, Cushion Smashin' Souls Snatch, and I like that line, that's pretty cool. Third Party Game and Apex Graphics, Victory Fuel, Admin Box, Bloodline Sim Sport, Support Squad, let's see, Dirt Series Promotions, Full Throttle Motorsports, Hinkle Plasma Cutters, TJ Visuals, Right Rear Racing, 618 Engraving and Design, Shaggy TV, and Sweet Tea Gang. And, I mean, there are some awards going out to all these guys. The white flag is, I guess, jointly. We, of course, have it set up with Whiplash Simcams on our side, but also brought to you by Third Party Gaming, Admin Box with the Drivers Meeting, Apex Graphics, sponsoring Victory Lane, qualifying brought to you by Bloodline Sim Sports. That was a couple of nights ago. We didn't have a B main this evening and really even need Pit Road, but that would be brought to you by Dirt Series Promotions. FND Awareness, Driver of the Year and Last Lap Hero sponsor. That might go, actually, to Navarro. Full Throttle Motorsports with the green flags all night long. Heats 1 and 2 brought to you by Right Rear Racing and Hinkle Plasma Cutting. Heat 3 and Night 1 sponsor was RPES Gaming. RPES Shop brought you the warm-up session this evening. Shaggy TV for the B main. And moving on, 618 at the caution. Slide Job Syndicate, of course, the series title. Sweet Tea Gang, the other B main of the evening, I guess a couple of nights ago. And practice sessions, TJ Visuals for the fastest lap. And that goes... Let me just force the button here. To Metcalf, how about that? A 12.056 for the fastest lap this evening. And Victory Fuel brought you the 4-wide salute here this evening at I-55. A big thank you to all those partners and our very own here, Whiplash Simcams, ATVO, MX Raps, Murtis Esports, CC's Business, the North American Racing League, Whiplash Creative, and TZO Designs. That does it for us here this evening, Zach. We will, I suppose, get ready for the next one, whenever that one might be for us. It'll be Nora on Monday night at Michigan. Hopefully we see you all there. Zach, thanks for joining me this evening. Until next time, everybody, hopefully we see you soon. Otherwise, it'll be the next Regal show, I suppose. We'll see you then. Have a great night.
Bye.